Hi friends, this is Deanna and Bo, and today we're going to be making something for him. He's super excited about it. He can't wait. It's going to be a collar and a new leash. Let's get to it. All right, let's get started. I added some interfacing to my fabric just to make it a little bit sturdier. Now I'm going to fold it in half. I did cut out the sizing for the size that I'm going to make for my dog. And now I am wrapping the fabric by folding it in half, wrong sides together, and steaming. And once I create that middle crease, I'm gonna bring the two edges into that middle crease. All right, now at the edge, the raw edges, I'm gonna fold out and fold in a 1/4 inch to bring that edge in and tuck it in, and then fold it right back. Do the same on the other side. All right, now before you work with the webbing, you want to make sure that it's not gonna fray on you, because when you cut it, it starts fraying. I'm using a heat source. I'm just gonna use matches because I don't have a light. Oh my goodness, I'm making a mess. And I'm going to just very carefully burn the edges of the webbing so it doesn't fray like this. That's it. Now I'm going to grab my fabric and I'm going to place it right on top of my webbing. And we're going to edge stitch it all the way around. I'm going to edge stitch it onto the webbing. This is where you can do whatever fabric you want to do. This is where you can what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank on the word. When you can modify it, adjust it. What is the word? Personalize it. You can personalize it. You can, I think it would be super cute to monogram your dog's name. I had a collar like this that had the Bo's name monogrammed and our phone number on it, so that in case, you know, he went where he was not supposed to go. So I might do that next time. I don't have my monogramming machine set up with me, my embroidery machine set up, so I can't do this on this color, but I'm going to, and I think that would be super cute. I cut the webbing a little bit longer, so I'm going to trim that and burn it again, because my webbing was folded when I was cutting it up, and so I had that crease. My fabric was right at the right amount, so I'm going with that. All right, I'm gonna go head over to, okay, that was not a very clean cut. All right, I'm gonna head over to my sewing machine and sew that around, top stitch it around. Because I wanna be a little extra, there's little hearts, like a little heart pattern here. I'm gonna do the little heart pattern like right in the middle of the lead. So I'm going to my special stitch, 61. And I'm just going to do it like right in between where I stitched. And I did a double stitching line. I just want to see what it looks like. I kind of just want to play around with it and make it my own. And that's the cool thing about making your own dog collar, is that you can do something fun like this. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. Even though you probably won't be able to see it very much with this fabric style. But I just want to try it, and then maybe do it in different colors too. Can you see the little hearts? So cute. Definitely gonna try this with a solid fabric and put like little designs on there. Look at the little hearts. That looks adorable. All right, now that we are finished, oops, not yet. We don't need to yet. I'm gonna trim the threads. And I'm gonna grab my measuring tool and I'm gonna measure 3 inches from the edge, and I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna mark it with a water soluble marker here. And then I'm also going to measure 1 1/8 from the edge. Shh. That is my iron trying to tell me it's shutting off. I know you're shutting off. You're fine. Once you've got your markings, we're going to grab our D-ring and we're going to place it and loop it over just a little bit past the 3-inch mark. Then we're going to grab our buckle. I have a 2 buckle, so I'm going to fit that right in and place it right at the 3-inch mark. and I'm gonna fold, and it's gonna be like right at that 3-inch mark. Now I'm gonna grab my collar, and I'm gonna flip it under the D-ring to catch it through the D-ring, like so. And then see where that line is, the 1 1/8 line? That is gonna be where my fold is gonna be. And that's where my D-ring is basically going to sit, which is about a 1/2 inch away from the buckle here. And I'm going to sew this right here, right sides, right here. Make like a not a zigzag, make like a little rectangle here, or sew it together right here. You may want to look at the settings on your sewing machine using a longer needle or a different foot that you need. Obviously my clip didn't like it. Or a bigger foot that you need to sew through all the layers of fabric to help you with that. But here is the first side of the buckle. All right, when we're here, we need to make sure of a few things. You don't want your D-ring to hit your machine. My little clip is higher up, but some of them are shorter. If there's this little clip here, you want to make sure that it's not catching anything, your D-ring or your buckle or any of that. So you have to be kind of careful when you're sewing through all those layers. And there's different feet that you can use. Mine just happens to be wide enough apart that I can just do it like this. But I'm not going to be able to turn. So I'm going to do a back stitch and go back and forth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another line. So I'm just going to remove it and then do another line next to it. So instead of a square, I'm doing a couple, like I'm going to do like 3 lines side by side. You can even use, if you don't have like all kinds of fancy feet, a zipper foot is narrow, so you could even try to use a zipper foot if you wanted to try something different. I know there's all kinds of feet out there that you can help you with this to make it more narrow, but I don't have a ton of different feet, so that is why I'm just kind of doing it with what I have. Whoop. So as you can see, I'm going to cut all this thread, extra thread, but there's 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 right there. It looks a mess because all the thread, because I just kept pulling and went, but I'm going to cut all that, and then I'll have 1, 2, 3 on this side. And I went back and forth on each one. All right, so that side is finished. And I use these extra sharp little nips. I don't even know where I got them, but they are super sharp to cut and trim that. And that looks really good. Now for the other side, let me trim this. I'm going to grab my slider first. Well, no, you know what? First, I'm going to mark my fabric again. We're going to mark it at 3 inches from the other end. 3 inches. And then I'm going to mark a 1/4 inch. Oop. All right. And I'm going to grab my slider and I'm going to fit it through. Kind of just like leave this gap here. Then I'm going to grab my buckle and I'm going through my buckle. And this bottom part right here, let's make it really wide. I want to have room to work. Okay, I'm just kind of pulling it through so it's like a long tail. I'm going to go ahead and feed it through the opposite side of the slide. So coming in through the back, going up and coming out through the other side of the slider, the slide. And then now once it's that, you see my 3 inch mark here on this side and my 1/4 inch mark here. I'm going to fold this buckle, this slide, not the slide, the piece that is coming in the end, what it's called, a 1/4 inch there. And I'm going to place it right at that 3 inch mark. So it's folded a 1/4 inch and it's placed right on that mark that I made right there. And I'm going to sew that. You want to give yourself like a lot of space because you're going to go in and sew this together here. You're not sewing any of the other rest of the color because this is still going to move to make the color tighter or looser. You're just literally, this is the end of your one side of the collar. As you can see, here's my mark that I marked my fabric, and we're gonna go sew that. And I'm gonna do the same thing. You can do like 3 or 4 lines. You can do a zigzag stitch, whatever you wanna do to sew that on. You don't wanna sew this back part. So you can make a huge loop and just kind of put it over your machine like so, and like kind of move it like this, so you can just sew that spot right there, just on its own. I am using a stitch with my needle as far to the left as possible so that I can get as close as I can to it. I'm kind of standing my buckle up. Getting it out of the way. We finished our collar, and it is so cute. Look at that. I like the little heart detail on there. I'm definitely going to be making a whole different other options for him. Now we're going to work on our lead. Now I am using just a regular webbing, but I'm using a swivel. Here, I'll show you. I'm using a swivel hook, which will get, you know, latched onto the collar. So that's what I'm using for my lead. If you're going to cover it, like we covered the color, which I might later, you're just gonna do it the same way. You're gonna go ahead and cover the whole thing. But I'm not. I'm just going to attach it now. Can't wait to put that on Bo. He's going to love it. Once again, I'm going to start by burning my edges of my webbing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a 1/2 inch first, but I'm not marking that because I can tell what 1/2 inch is. And then I'm going to mark 10.5 inches from the edge. Mark that. And then I'm going to bring it over. See where that 10.5 inches is here? That's my fold for my leash here. Now, if you want to add a D-ring, these are good for like if you want to hang doggy bags or if you want to hang your keys from them. That way your hands are free. You're going to insert that D-ring. Now, I don't have another big one. I used my big one over for my collar. So this is a little bit smaller, but it's going to be okay. And I'm going to fold that 1/2 inch here that I marked, but I didn't really mark. And I'm going to fold it and I'm going to sew it here to the other side of my leash. So like so right here. And then I'm also going to make sure that this D-ring is trapped here. And I'm going to sew on this side as well. So this D-ring doesn't just go flying out. And this is my handle here. I'm gonna go over there and sew here a little rectangle and then here a little rectangle, and that D-ring will be trapped so that when I'm holding my leash, I can hang keys from it, doggy bag, doggy treats, whatever you want to hang from this right here. Make like yourself a little tiny bag and hold where that holds all the things. Now I'm going to move the D-ring over and I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch on this other side. The handle side is done. Now I'm going to do the swivel and I'm going to do a rectangle on this side. So let me switch that. I'm just reinforcing it. I don't want it to be breaking apart. All right, friends, we are done with our collar and our leash. And as you can see, he is excited. I love how easy that was and customizable. It fits him perfectly. It's got the little notch here. And then the lead. He's ready to go for a walk. We're going to go and take it out for a spin. Sit. I hope, let me put this on or he will take me out. I hope you all had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. He wants to go try it out. I hope you will try it out and come post it on our Facebook or Instagram. We'd love to see it. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.